Folks, for whatever reason, I'm in a mob egg hatching sort of mood. And yesterday, we got adorable with some fiery friends, and today, we're gonna fly, die, and cry with Tallbirds here. Yes, everyone, we ourselves can hatch and raise a Tallbird as our own, and they've even got some pretty good uses at the end of the day. Well, up until they grow up and immediately attempt to murder us, but we'll get to that. For now, though, we gotta talk Tallbird spawns and how absolutely horrendous they can be at times. For you see, Tallbirds and their nests love rocky land biomes, but both rocky land biomes and even Tallbird nests themselves are not guaranteed spawns, so that's a bloody great start. Thankfully, though, our world spawned with several alternatives, like the mosaic biome here, but even still, Tallbird numbers can be pretty atrocious. It's gonna vary from world to world and person to person. So let's just hope that you get better luck than I did. Heck, maybe you'll even stumble upon a Tallbird fortress once in a while. Whatever the case may be, we want the eggs. So either steal one out from Mama Bird's nose, or just straight up murder her right then and there and be done with it. Cause, well, who would have guessed that Mama Tallbirds would love their unborn babies so much as to chase us for bloody ages if we do happen to snatch one up. Just get an egg. That's all I'm saying. And here's where the fun begins. Like larvae eggs, Tallbird ones need to be by fire for a few seconds to actually begin their hatching process. But unlike larvae eggs, these guys can get very hot very fast. They will turn red. They will literally begin to sweat, and if left like this for roughly 30 seconds, the egg will actually explode, instantly cooking the tiny bird life inside of it along the way. And that's just wrong. Tasty, but wrong. Be mindful now, though. Things can go both ways here. A cold Tallbird egg turns white and shivers very much like a larvae egg, actually. And if one is left like this for about 30 seconds, the egg will initially freeze into an egg cube of sorts, which is actually kind of cool, so I'm kind of sad it doesn't last very longer, but will quickly become wet goop following that. Also not good, especially as it's not as tasty this time around. The thing is, however, you'd be surprised by just how difficult it actually is to freeze a Tallbird egg. Even in the dead of winter, one is gonna be okay. It's really only at night when one will see an egg turn white, as yes, even dusk is fine. In fact, dusk is the perfect time for Tallbird egg hatching, as an egg cannot get too hot nor too cold come this time. So make notes. Folks, the process is pretty easy. Maybe not as easy as larvae eggs, but still, if it's red or white, just pick it up and move it. And in fact, don't ever worry about leaving a hatching egg in your inventory. The process doesn't reset itself at all. Do worry, though, about mobs that are around during said process, cause pigmen, hounds, and buzzards will all eat eggs left on the ground, even hatching hot and cold ones. Not good. But manage to be a good parent for roughly 3 days, and a small bird will be born. So let's see what its deal is, yes? Or better yet, their deal. As another note to take before we actually dive into the details is that there is no limit to the amount of Tallbirds that can be hatched and raised at one time by one person. And this is actually important for a segment to come later, so make notes. If you can handle it, go for it. But remember that everyone is gonna be a mouth to feed at the end of the day. And small birds do have a hunger stat, and do require foodies to survive. But to make matters more difficult, said hunger is only 20 points at max. Like the larvae themselves, small birds have hunger animations and sounds, but our characters will also tell us when it's time for them to eat, so there's that. Trust me, however, you're gonna know when these things are hungry. And small birds here will only eat seeds, and if we don't feed them ourselves, they will actually munch up whatever seeds they can find around them. And most seeds restore about 4 hunger points each, so it doesn't take too much to fully feed these little guys, and it most certainly will not take much time to heal them either, as any seed fully restores their health instantly. even if we don't feed them ourselves. Not bad. Now, interestingly enough, many smaller mobs like birds, rabbits, and butterflies even don't flee when a small bird is nearby. But given how small birds only deal 10 damage, they aren't going to be all that helpful on their lonesome, unfortunately. Still, it is worth noting how they attack what we do even at a young age. We're teaching them well, and train them well enough, and you could have some fun, I suppose. Because if we stay between a rabbit and its den, the small bird will get the job done, actually. So strike him down, little fella. Strike him down. But two last smallish bird notes here. They will aggro onto you if you hit them. But running away for a little while will return things to normal very quickly, so there's that. Lastly, while they are followers and are owned by us, they are still mobs in the game's mind. So any player-built traps will trigger with them near, so be very mindful of that. Well, unless of course you want baby bird for dinner. But it ain't no baby no more, folks. After 10 days as a small bird, the beast loses its ability to fly and sprouts some tall legs to become a smallish tall bird here, aka a Teenbird. Its health rockets up to 600 total. Its health is now 60, and it will deal 37.5 damage a bonk over its original 10. Not bad, and by golly, they grow up so fast. Sure do, and they become vacuum eaters overnight, it seems. Teenbirds will now eat any meat, veggie, fruit, berries, egg, or even rot-type foodies, with meats being the best at raising their increased hunger pool, mind you. So feed them well, but with 600 health, I really wouldn't worry too much about starving them to death. Besides, like their baby selves, Teenbirds heal through eating better than most anything in this bloody game, us included. Seriously, it ate one dang seed and healed for nearly 200 health instantly. I'm not gonna worry about losing these things outside of combat. But speaking of, Teenbirds do not scare smaller mobs all the same as smallish ones, which is actually kind of intriguing considering the whole thing, but they are god-awful at targeting birds, which is a shame, because they'd actually be able to kill them unlike their counterparts. That said, their health pool will be helping them keep up with some of the medium-sized foes of this game at the end of the day, so make sure to take advantage of that. Especially if you've been busy in the bedroom, folks. Get a set of quadruplets or something, and suddenly you could be walking around the constant with a deadly flock of frickin' birds. 37.5 damage each hit, with some quick attack speeds, is not nothing. It's gonna add up pretty fast. Be involved yourself, and it not only keeps them safe, but things really good cooking. Have fun. But two final not fully grown Tallbird notes here, though. Teenbirds do have two other mechanics to them, but only in solo don't starve. Not don't starve together here. And it includes this pecking attack that only deals 2 damage, and they do it when they are starving, or if we wear a spider hat specifically. And why is this not in Don't Starve Together, you ask? Well, I have no idea, but here's the information regardless. And finally, while Tallbird followers cannot follow us into the caves themselves, there's nothing to stop us from bringing the eggs themselves to hatch them down there anyways. It's cool down here though, so be mindful. But the true last note of the day is this, everyone. Come 18 flippin' days as a teenager, the bird will unceremoniously grow into an adult and immediately try to kill us right then and there. You know, like every bloody child does on this frickin' planet. Watch yourself, parents. Watch yourself. And there you have it, everyone. A guide on hatching Tallbird eggs and the beasts that follow within Don't Starve Together here. Parenting is hard. Good luck. Thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all. Birds of a feather get eaten together. And I'll see ya in the next one. Bye-bye.